Not many start-up businesses can boast a generating revenue stream worth millions of pounds in just under 2 years.
Thank you. I've worked very hard to get my company to this point.
Yeah, well, Take Flight has definitely surpassed the rest of its competitors in the courier service sector. And how did you feel winning the PwC Private Business Award at the beginning of the year?
Well, I wasn't surprised. I knew we'd win. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. Thank you, Nancy.
No problem, Mr. Burkeland. But my name is Nina.
Nina, Nancy, tomatoes, tomatoes. After the week I've had, my head's been all over the place. But you forgive me, right?
Of course, Mr. Burkeland.
Okay, well, I'll finalise the interview by asking what's next for Take Flight and what other sections will you be interested in exploring?
Too late for help.
Help! Help!
Death will be a blessing. I'll see you in hell!
What's going on?
Who's next? Ah, Max Burkeland.
Is this some kind of sick joke?
This is your final destination.
Please, what did I do?
I want you to think long and hard about that before I kill you.
Carmen's wedding ring.
Yes, Carmen. Whatever did happen to Carmen?
Hello, Carmen.
I thought we'd agreed to cease contact.
That's no way to greet your mother. You're my daughter
Your
and
daughter? What kind of mother are you? You've never done anything right by me.
Oh, you've got a very short memory, haven't you, after everything I've done for you? Listen, I just want to offer my support, okay? How would you feel if I came and spent a bit of time with you next week? Yeah, just to like...
Please leave a message after the tone.
Hi Max, it's me. Make sure you're at the cemetery today. I'll see you there.
Mr. Burkeland, I'm handing in my notice. I think it's the time for me to move on in my career. I want to take this moment to thank you.
This, I do not need. Thank you, Nancy.
Where were you today? I waited for you.
By the time I finished work, the cemetery had closed.
It's bad enough you neglect me, Max. But I thought you were better than this. I thought you would have at least been there for him. Surely some things are more important than work.
If it wasn't for work, I'd be just like you. Look at the state of you. In under 2 years, I was able to turn our lives around. I grew and evolved just like my business. It's a shame my wife couldn't do the same.
How was I supposed to grow with no support? You were so cold. No compassion. You've left me to deal with this all alone.
And you think my son's death hasn't affected me either?
Has it?
The reason I work so damn hard and don't come home nights on end is because every time I look at you, I see a reminder of him. And worst of all, I see the woman that's responsible for his death.
But it wasn't my fault.
Yes, it was! Mothers deliver babies. You delivered a dead one. You're useless. A waste of space. We could have tried for another baby. I mean, when was the last time we had sex?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's my fault. It's my fault.
Go buy yourself another bottle of wine. The one you're drinking is done for, just like you.
Still there, Max?
Carmen did this to me.
No, Max. There's more to it than that. Can't you see you did this to yourself? And scumbags like you end up in places like this. Retribution Reserve, the ideal one-stop destination for guys like yourself to do some real soul searching.
How did you get me here? Who helped you? Oh!
I've told you already. We are part of a much bigger thing than you could ever comprehend. Don't make me have to tell you again. You seem to be rather abject-minded when it comes to paying attention to detail.
Nina Hartwell was in on this?
Mr. Burkeland, I'm handing in my notice.
This, I do not need.
And how did you feel winning the PwC Private Business Award at the beginning of the year?
Well, I wasn't surprised. I knew we'd win. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. Thank you, Nancy.
No problem, Mr. Burkeland. But my name is Nina.
Nina, Nancy, tomatoes, tomatoes.
Hello, Mum. Somehow I found the words to express the manic thoughts and fears that have been running through my head these last few years. In any other circumstance, I would have avoided this course of action. Rekindling contact with you was not on my agenda. Since Michael's death, the man I married, the man I loved, the man I cherished and adored till death do us part, rejected me when I needed him the most. He blamed me for our baby's death. With no one else to turn to, I've found myself falling into this dark hole where I've begun to question everything. The only person who has ever showed any affection towards me was Dad, but he's gone now, just like me.
Bye, Mum. Carmen. Carmen's father, Charlie, he was physically abusive to me over many years. It all came to a head at Carmen's 5th birthday. He threatened to kill me and take Carmen away with him.
How did Carmen react to all of this?
She blamed me. Charlie was murdered 2 weeks later. His murder was unresolved. Carmen took it badly. She'd lost her hero. But I was thankful.
These feelings of anger and rage that you mentioned, where did they stem from?
That bastard Max, of course.
Elaborate on his feelings you have towards him.
I want him dead, just like he made my Carmen feel inside. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
No, please, continue.
I want him to suffer. A painful, excruciating torture.
Well, what's stopping you from doing that? Do not be fooled, Ruth. You may have stepped down, but you're still Queen Zenobia, founder of the Oppressed Wives Society, defender of women against emotional and physical abuse. Many women and wives are indebted to you for the movement you created. We are willing to take command. Just say the word.
I'm sorry! I understand!
You claim you understand what you did wrong, but you understand nothing. You cannot understand someone's pain unless you go through it yourself. I have found a punishment most fitting for your matrimonial crimes. The room of regret. Your final destination.
Please.
In this room you will be starved. Starved of food, starved of contact with the outside world, and starved of your liberty, so you can truly understand the trauma you inflicted upon your wife. Goodbye, Max.
No, please! I'm sorry!